Nick Churchill defending the ward of Sumners and Kingsmoor for the Conservatives. You've been a councillor since 1999,
yep.
So you must like this job, so to speak.
I love it. I became a councillor because I couldn't get answers out of the incumbent councillor, and so I stood and knocked that councillor out, and that was then me and Andrew Johnson. I won by 52 votes. And it was all because I wanted to help people. It's something I've done all my life. I've worked in charities since I was, 14. So, all my life I've been volunteering and this sort of thing. And this is just another volunteering job, really.
And we are in the ward of Sumners and Kingsmoor. Covers a big area, doesn't it?
It is big, yeah.
Is it a busy ward for casework and?
Yes and no. It depends which part of the ward you're in. I mean, some parts of the ward there is a lot of casework needs to be done. Other parts of the ward it's more a maintenance issue. I regularly go around the whole of the ward doing my own little ward inspections, and anything I spot I then report it onto the system to get it repaired.
And I guess for a lot of councils, and especially yourself, there might be casework that you can't turn into a press release. It's just work, isn't it? 99%
of casework cannot be talked about because it's confidential. It's people's lives, and you don't politicise people's lives. You're there to do a job. You're there to help people, and if you start doing that and publicising, I've done this, that, and the other, and it's a disservice to your constituents who voted for you and who rely on you to provide them with that support.
But when it's not nature of that, sometimes you're quite good at that, giving a gentle prod on social media to perhaps estate agents putting their board down.
Yeah, now that's a long-term thing. It all comes down to the Pride in Harlow thing. I started going up against estate agents, not just estate agents, but fly posting in general before lockdown. And then of course we had lockdown, which stopped everything in its tracks. I wasn't getting very far, but then last May we took the council, and now because we have because we want to make a difference, the estate agents are now behaving themselves. There are rules about where they can and can't put their boards. Up until now, they've just stuck their boards where they feel like. There was one just over there on that, and you can't have it. It's not on. So they get reported. We are now working with a company who already is enforcing, and that's going to hopefully come into the enforcement program as well. So estate agents, if they don't obey their own industry regulations, will start finding they're getting fines. I don't want that to happen, but if it has to, it has to.
Many people say that we talk about councils and there are council meetings, there are cabinet meetings, but some people say the actual work gets done on committees, whether it's planning, scrutiny, or indeed licensing. Now that you're the chair of licensing.
I am now, yes.
Why is that such an important position?
Well, there's a lot of things that sort of get connected into licensing. One of them, which my opponent mentioned in his interview, is antisocial behaviour. Now, when I took over licensing in June last year, I discovered there had been no, apart from the formal enforcement activities, there had been no other enforcement activities being carried out for probably the last 10 years. And a big problem that we face at the moment, something which I am addressing, and it's starting to have an effect, is street drinking and the sale of single cans at very low prices, a pound a can, which is illegal, but they're doing it. And so I started a program in the town centre for now, but it'll be coming out across to everywhere in the town, all the hatches, all the shopping centres. If a shop starts to sell by the pound, by a single can, or it sells to someone who's already intoxicated, we will come down very, very hard because they're breaching their license anyway. But that is a problem that is town-wide, and it's because there has been no enforcement allowed. The 2 or 3 safety officers that were purchased.
When I was interviewing your colleague Joel Charles in Old Harrow, I did a 10-minute piece, and we interviewed in Market Street, and forgot to mention challenges about antisocial behaviour, and in fact maybe some of the work the ruling group did, the licensing did, with some pubs, etc., to make sure things are on even keel, and those were really important meetings.
Incredibly important, yes. Although I would say that when we're looking at an individual pub, that's a completely different thing. Okay, no publican can control absolutely who his clientele is. Obviously, they can ban people, they can ask people to leave, they can ask people to stop being silly, and they've got those powers. But it comes down to the end of the day, the individual, and every town has people who will go a little bit too far. This isn't a Harlow problem. This isn't anywhere in the country. You're going to get some problems. And what I've been looking at, as I said, is street drinking, which has been shown to be a problem. The off sales of cheap alcohol. I mean, it's a money maker, and I don't blame them for doing it, but they mustn't, because it breaches their rules.
So does that mean, say for example, your party's been, your group is very clear about a roadmap for the Regeneration Town Centre?
Yep.
And the entertainment and leisure offer, so the role of a licence department is going to be more and more important for that to be a success.
Well, yes, yeah. I mean, it all comes. It's like a jigsaw puzzle which you've got to fit together. I mean, my colleague Dan Saws has been doing excellent work with the Regeneration. I've been working with him behind the scenes as well, looking at it from the licensing side of things, and we are getting that message out to the off sales, to the corner shops and that sort of thing, that look, we want you to do well, we want you to make money, we want you to be successful, but there are rules that you have to abide by, and we will have a word if you don't abide by them. I don't like making threats, but I mean, the law is there and it must be upheld, and that will help with the regeneration of the town centre by removing a problem which didn't need to be there in the first place if enforcement had been carried out for the last 10 years.
Finally, we're talking about local issues, local elections on Thursday, but it could be national issues. It could be a close race here in Sumners and Kingsmoor.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was very interested in what Aidan was saying about the health centre, and I've got to be honest with you, I agree with most of what he says, but he's looking at it from a local issue. I'm looking at it from a much wider issue, because this is town, county, or even countrywide. This is down to the management of the NHS, and I was very fortunate when I was able to speak with the Secretary of State, Sajid Javid, last month, and I raised this exact issue, and there is currently an investigation going on into management of the NHS, and my questions have been included into that now, he's told me, which is very pleasing, and I hope that will actually help to stop some of the problems. Biggest problem being, you can't get to see your doctor. What do? You go to A&E. Now A&E has got enough problems already, so it's the NHS, the care group, CCG, that are stopping doctors from having face-to-face, and they're not providing the resources to actually be able to answer the phones properly, and so the pressure's been put onto A&E by the NHS itself. The rest of us have done fantastic work protecting the NHS, protecting A&E, but now, we need to get this turned around, because this is not helping. It really isn't, and I feel so sorry for the people in A&E. I feel so sorry for the staff in doctors' surgeries, because they're all getting it in the neck, and it's not their fault. It's the NHS management that needs to be looked at.
Finally, you've been a councillor since 1999, and here we are in 2022, but you'd like to continue.
Yeah, it's because I enjoy it. I love the people I represent. I do work right across the town, but my heart is here in S&K, always will be, and I just enjoy it.